Welcome to another inspiring episode of HP Unplugged. Today we are honored to feature Shri P S Murty, Executive Director Health, Safety and Environment at HPCL. Shri Murty's remarkable journey, which began in 1986 as an officer trainee, reflects a lifetime of dedication, technical excellence and leadership within HPCL. With over 3 decades of experience across a range of critical projects and roles in HPCL, Shri Murty has played an instrumental role in shaping the corporation's infrastructure development, particularly in the LPG and pipeline structure. His calm and composed demeanor, combined with his technical acumen, has helped deliver key projects like the Uran-Chakkan LPG pipeline and many LPG bottling plant upgradation projects that continue to set the standards in the industry. His philosophy of leading with serenity and mindfulness has not only enhanced his professional achievements but also allowed him to foster an empowering work environment for his teams. Beyond his professional responsibilities, Shri P S Murty's dedication to meditation and spirituality has been central to his balanced approach to leadership and life. Without further ado, let's venture into the world of Shri P S Murty, Executive Director HSE. Thank you, sir, for coming to our episode of HP Unplugged. It's truly a privilege to have you here, sir. How are you feeling and what is your first
It's my
thoughts?
privilege, Sudipto. I've been watching these episodes with a lot of interest, especially to get to know our senior leadership. Even though I have been working with them, but your episode had really brought out the intricacies and the persona very well. And a lot of interest I've been watching this, and I feel privileged to be here. And share my journey with you.
Thank you, sir. Talking about your journey, sir, it has been an eventful 3 decades of journey with HPCL, and you have had various roles in LPG, specifically in LPG projects and in pipeline. So any career defining moment that comes in your mind that you would like to share with us, sir?
I think my entry into projects was a bit dramatic in the sense that I was working in Jammu in a loop depot. I had a lot of time with me, so I was helping the sales officers in the retail outlet and LPG inspection. I was doing operations work. We had hospitality locations at Jammu and Pathankot, and in Srinagar we had to do a lot of bridging, almost 70-80 trucks per day. So I used to get involved in all activities, and during that time I had an opportunity to do some construction work. In fact, our ENP came up with Jammu sales office and residential complex, and they didn't have an engineer, so I volunteered. And I was there till almost plinth level. I think above plinth level also I was there involved. It was a job done through architect and with a contractor, so I was dealing and coordinating with our ENP department. Actually, that really helped me in the sense that after almost 1.5 years when I got my promotion, Mr. K.C. Nair, who was there at that time, he had moved to Chief Manager Bulk Plants. He remembered my name. He was involved in posting and he put me in ENP. I think that
so he saw your work there.
Yeah, he saw. I helped him actually when he was handling projects. So that was the defining moment. I came to projects, and first time after 6-7 years, I started thinking like an engineer. How things are built and what goes into design. How do we decide things? What goes into construction about quality and all that. It was really a learning experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed. I worked for 3 years in ENP in Vashi and Sagar Depot as in charge. All the projects I was in charge. That's one advantage I had, holding leadership position right from my A grade. So that helped me grow very well. But the project experience in Vashi was really revealing for me. In the sense that I never did any project, and my boss at that time, Mr. Sapre, he was a terror. Everybody used to feel very scared of him. I was just from operations and didn't have any project experience. He once came to site and he said, we had a very complex project, revamping of the entire pipelines, changing and then laying new lines in the existing country. We can't do hard work only during weekend. We had a lot of challenges there, and he asked me, how are you going to do? And I said, no, I have not thought about it. And I got a firing from him. He said, but what you not thought, you're already the contractor is coming and what are you doing? I said, I'm giving you 2 days, you come with a plan, what you. I think those 2 days I didn't sleep. I drew isometric. So at that time we didn't have this AutoCAD and all. So I drew.
So all hand-driven.
All hand-driven, no hot work anywhere. How I proposed to, I took the plans and went to him.
Okay.
I think that was a defining moment in a way, in the sense that after he saw that, he didn't ask a single question.
Okay.
And that's one job. He asked me, how much time will you take? I said, it should take 3 months. I didn't have a clue how much project would be done and all. I said, 3 months should be okay. And it was in June. He came in October. He said, where's your contractor? I said, it's gone, it's finished. Oh, it was a 6 months job and I finished in 3 months.
That was great.
I think that's one thing I learned in that project was that, the limits are what we set in the mind. If you don't have any limits, we do much better.
Okay.
The initial period, a good foundation for me.
Right.
Of course, I talked about this LPG import facilities, which we couldn't commission immediately because of some incident in Vizag refinery. And after 7 years, we commissioned that facility.
Okay. The
seashore facilities were really corroded and we had to check the integrity. It took a lot of effort. I spent 4-5 months there. And when we commissioned, it was a great feeling. After 7 years, HPCL brought imports into Vizag. It was a very, I would say, defining moment in the sense that, we wanted that facility and we have been depending on a private party and there were a lot of limitations. All that went away with that. One more I would like to just touch upon, that is, we had a lot of, I shifted to Bombay by 2001 or so and into the LPG projects.
So Jammu, Vashi, Vizag, and then...
in between I constructed a depot in Sagar also. So we came to, I was in Bombay and we had just then introduced this electronic checking equipment like ELD, OLD. So earlier we used to do that manually, so it required, capacities were limited to 600, 700 cylinders and the electronic ones we could do 1200 cylinders. So all locations we had put this and they were very good. So what we were doing manual we automated. But I remember our ED, Mr. Sani, he said, please check, I think the cylinders, these are being bypassed. So just go to this field and get your opinion. I remember spending almost 2 days in the shed in Bangalore LPG plant, and I came back and said, see, our equipment are good, but if they operate them, then the carousel is not good. It's not giving that desired performance. We are throwing away. It has to throw almost 50% production. So we need to change the carousels. And when we talked to Kosan, they said, no, you buy a new one. We can't do anything with your old carousels. But they were all 6-7 years. We can't throw them. So I had, that was one of the best moments in the sense in LPG projects, that I had talked to them and they asked, how much should you feel? I said, it should be less than 50% cost of a new carousel. And we did 2 pilot projects we converted the existing mechanical ones made in India with an electronic fully automatic carousel. And I would be...
So this was in the year, sir?
Around 2004-5 during that period. But the most gratifying thing is that we converted our all mechanical carousels, almost 30-35 mechanical carousels, into fully automatic on the existing frames. And
across the country.
Across the country.
So the same model was implemented.
And we were the first ones. And after we completed, IOC and BPC took up. So it was a creative thing, and we did it at 50% cost, and each carousel life had again gone up by almost another 15 years. So these are some very interesting moments I had an opportunity. Even pipeline projects also I would say is wonderful in the sense that till that time pipelines used to have one project coming in and one getting completed at all times. But when I was there, the 5 years I was there in pipeline projects and heading that, we had almost Palanpur, Vadodara, Vijayawada, Dharmapuri, Hassan Cherlapalli, and in Bame, Palanpur, a new project. Almost I remember 8,000 crore projects we brought in, and that's projects on a large scale and different experience. And it really helped me in terms of bringing out a lot of hidden things, what I thought, courage to face challenges and handling much bigger tasks. it helped me grow. I think the entire journey has been really a lot of learning and growth. I think that's what I can say.
That's good to know, sir. And now coming to your stint in pipeline. So one of the very challenging projects that we have come to know about is the Uran Chakan LPG projects, because it had a lot of issues, and also it was a very like physically challenging circumstances. So would you like to talk about it a bit on focusing
Uran
on it?
Chakan is a unique project in the sense that, see, we have projects which are 100% our own. But this is one project with BPC. In fact, they had laid a pipeline from Mahul to Uran, their refinery plus our refinery together. That was their part, and our part was from Uran to Chakan Shikrapur. Where Shikrapur they had a bottling. So basically evacuating LPG through pipelines and avoid this LPG truck loading inside Mahul area. Where they pass through the congested area and populated area. It's basically on safety, and for one company it's not becoming viable, so we joined together. That we'll do together, sharing the costs, creating a model that is fair to everyone. So when we started the project, these are all developed areas entirely through MMRD and Pune metropolitan region. So all developed areas, a lot of vested interests, and we had obstructions at almost every stage. And because it is passing through developed areas, we had taken a unique decision at that time that we'll go for a seamless pipe instead of a welded pipe, though welded pipe would have been adequate. So that's one of the challenges, but we had obstructions, ROU, compensation. So these were some of the unique challenges, and holding the team together was very important, because people get frustrated. We used to have agitations along the pipeline, and people had to go and explain. So there are different challenges. I think somebody who works in pipelines understands these things, but this was more acute in this sense because of the developed areas. Bhivpuri Ghat, where the pipeline is going almost 70 degrees up. So through a unique method of vertical HDD, we did that, almost 70 degrees HDD it was done.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us the overall overview of your career. Now coming to the current role as Executive Director HSE, which is a very important role in terms of how we are as HPCL is going towards net zero, and our commitment towards net zero, as our country is also moving towards the net zero target. So what would you like to talk about that?
I think sustainability is one very important topic, and net zero comes from that. It's a fact that all of us have to agree that we have been seeing changes in the climate conditions, and we have higher temperatures, higher winters, and then floods. Things are going up, and we just can't wish away that there is no climate change. It is there, and then we need to make the changes. And I would say that here it's HPC is one of the first companies to take up this journey of path towards net zero. We had engaged world-renowned consultants, and we developed a roadmap, and we also declared 2040 as our target for Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions to achieve net zero. This is a challenging target in the sense that we don't have technologies, fully developed technologies for the last 30-40% of CO2 emissions abatement. So our initial focus is it's having faith that I can do it, and then we have given the commitment. The technologies are evolving, and hopefully something will come by that time. But the first 60% is equally important, where we have viable technologies. We are focusing primarily on energy efficiency and then fuel switches, like even power switch. Like you can see now, both our refineries have floated tenders for procuring renewable power. And then
green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen, and shifting to natural gas. So these are some of the decisions we have taken, and we have also started creating a portfolio in renewable power. As such, our own company, we have around 208 megawatts of renewable power, wind plus solar within our facility. But we also have this vision, we have formed a new company, HP Green and Renewable Energy Limited. And one Galividu 100 megawatt and some more, almost 300 megawatt projects we are working on. And Jhansi, Panipat, we have some small capacity, 6 to 10 megawatt capacity renewable power. So we are creating a portfolio. I think we are not only trying to reduce our scope 1, scope 2 emissions through these methods, but we are also looking at creating our changing our portfolio to renewable power, participate in the entire value chain.
So entire energy value chain.
Entire energy value chain. Biofuels are going to be big business, and they are going to be the primary method of CO2 abatement in the initial periods. So we are increasing our portfolio. We have our 2 CBG plants, and then we also have one ethanol plant coming up at Bathinda. So I think we are there in all the renewable or I would say the net zero or new energy portfolios. We are trying to create portfolios. We are there. Even as we fulfill our own requirements and country's requirements of energy needs through our existing products. I think this is a very interesting journey. It's a transition that is happening. We have also created an energy transition group within our organization. So it's being done in a very focused way, and then R&D is working on a number of technologies. I think as an organization, I feel really proud that we have focused approach. We are also looking at all aspects of whatever is possible at this moment with the technologies available or future technologies. We have our attention focused on all these things, and it's not that we are waiting for somebody else to come and give us a solution. I think we are actively ourselves involved in developing these things.
So we are paving the way.
We are paving the way for others. At each of our processes, when we look at, we are looking at how to improve it, how to improve substitution. And it's not just about technologies and power. We are also looking at other aspects. What is the footprint for all our activities? So our first integrated report really talks about how we are using natural capital, intellectual capital, financial capital, human capital, social capital. What are the resources we are using in our operations, and then how are we converting and how are we benefiting the society? So now we are looking at every aspect, even water management, waste management. Zero discharge is one of the targets what we have in mind. What it means is that whatever water we are using, we try to maximize by reusing that as much as possible. So like that, on a number of activities, it's about being a conscious citizen. It's HPCL being a conscious citizen, and I think it can't be done by one individual or one small department. It's the entire organization is geared up, and I see it very heartening that very positive response even at the remotest places for each of these activities.
We also read the reports, and it's really a good thing that our company is doing on this aspect. Now, sir, we have discussed your career and your profile. Now, we did some research. We talked to some of our colleagues, and there was one thing that one of the colleagues said is serenity engulfed. So when I asked him that what is the serenity engulfed about you, so he said that people who come in your contact, on your aura, with that they feel very serene, very calm. So what would you like to tell about that? And also, in some forums you have talked about job satisfaction. So if you can tell about these things to us, which is very important. A lot of people would like to learn from it.
So I would like to tell about an incident many years back, 1987 I think. I was still a trainee and I was in Chandigarh, and one of another trainee, Matthew Tarakan, he left HPCL. He worked in Vizag refinery for left. He was there, and he said suddenly one fine day, I'm really surprised that you're doing a non-engineering job, and you don't seem to be concerned, you seem to be happy, enjoying. What's wrong with you, he said. I didn't know I was supposed to be worried about this. So that's one remark I remember, I used to look back at myself, at that time. What is it that he's saying, and how do I connect with that?
How is it not bothering you?
Why is it not bothering me? Why is it not bothering me? If it bothers everyone. Then there's something that I realized, that I was getting satisfaction. And where was this coming from? It's not from the job profile, definitely. Then I realized that the job satisfaction is something that you get when you do a job very well. Whatever be the job, let it be sweeping, swabbing, or even when you do it very well, the satisfaction you get at the end of completion if you're a project man, you'll understand. The moment you complete a project and see it from bare ground, this has come up, and this is my contribution in this.
This is my child.
No praise can actually match that. There's a satisfaction you get. So job satisfaction to me has been that whatever is assigned to you, whatever you do the best. So much better than what anybody else can do.
Okay.
It's not, actually, it's not about others doing better than that. It's about what best can you do at every moment. I think that's the one. With that, I think I never felt so many years. 38 years I'll be completing. I've completed already 38 and a half.
Okay.
And I don't think at any moment I felt a job was actually not right for me, or I was not getting something from the job. Because it's always going from my side, whether am I doing well or not. And the moment I do well, I feel happy. I think that's it.
So how do you keep calm? Like you have handled projects. We know that projects are very stressful, deadlines and very difficult circumstances. Every day is a new thing. So how do you keep yourself calm, and how do you give that sense of calmness to your own team when you do it?
I think that's very important, wherever I have been right from, as I said, right from the day one, I've been a number one in my location. It's a one-man location. Okay. I was in Jammu Loop Depot, I was in charge. When I came to projects, I was in charge. I had a couple of juniors with me. So throughout till I came to headquarters, I had this exposure to leadership quite early in my life. That's one. And second thing is, I see people around. Everybody has some mental limitations, and they have these things can be done, this can't be done. This prejudged notions are there in everyone, and these are things that affect us. I think these are not by observing others, by observing myself. I can say I have seen these limitations on me. Then later on, I said, I'm the one who is telling this can't happen, but this can happen. So when I see that in my team, one of my primary requirements is to see that everybody is positive. That means I need to empathize, I need to understand what inspires them to put challenging works in front of them. Allow them to enjoy the discovery, the joy which I get when doing a good job. I have to give it to them. If I am breathing down their neck all the time, it won't happen. So I need to give them space.
Okay, you need to trust them.
I need to trust them. And this trust is a very good word you have used. I think it is something that is trying to come out in this conversation from my side. See, I've seen that when you trust somebody, very rarely somebody breaks that trust. Okay. We always say he's not trustworthy, a contractor is not trustworthy, or this lack of trust, we think it is coming from outside. Actually, it's coming from within us. It's our own insecurity, our own lack of faith in our abilities that actually creates this trust issues. And when we pass on that to our team, and then we create stress without realizing our anxieties, we pass on. I think the moment you start understanding yourself and see these are emanating from me, that all this stress, you take a back seat and you need to create space. So you need to look at your team, see their challenges, give them good assignments, see that what's happening in between, the interplay of interactions between your team members. Is it creating stress with each other? People compete. There's nothing wrong in that. They compete to excel. But the competition should be in the work, not in personality.
So healthy competition.
Healthy competition. So you have to watch out your team and then intervene, not just for work, not asking about work, what happened and how did you do and what mistakes, and correcting them. These are not, I think this is not leadership. Leadership is watch your team, see their requirements, create an environment, see the interplay that is happening, and then you create an atmosphere of, I would like to say the word, may 1,000 flowers bloom.
Okay.
That's been my motto all the time, and I've seen a number of people who were, actually I felt they were pegged down by their own mental boundaries. Once they overcome, they have actually blossomed, and I see many of them as leaders today in our organization.
Nice.
I feel very happy that I could help them in that part. Like I'm not sure whether they are aware or that. Or, I'm also. I don't know whether I can take credit for that, but I felt that I had created positive influence. I think that's one. But the primary thing, as I said about serenity, it comes from Actually, from meditation. I do a lot of meditation, and it all started. I think I don't know whether I should talk about it this moment, but yeah, I do a lot of meditation. That's the one that has helped me in this. But I can dwell a little bit more on that. I think how did it start, meditation?
Because it's very difficult to, and people speak about it a lot, but when you start trying to practice it, it's very difficult to do, because I tried once and I slept after 20 minutes. So I've read about it, but it's very difficult to do it. So how do you do it, the meditation, and how do you continue doing it?
Actually, this is a very interesting question. So there should always be some purpose. Why are we doing it? Without purpose, I don't think it will work. So for me, what has happened, I'll talk about my journey. I'm not sure how it will be relevant to everyone. I was curious, how are we different from our parents or grandparents, or their 100 years back, 150 years back, or people who lived, how are we different? They had different, their outside things were different, but the challenges were almost same. So what is this, and what is our purpose? Is HPCL be joining our company and then growing in the organization? This is my only purpose. Why am I here? So these are some questions that troubled me. And initially I went to science. I remember having read books written by Einstein, Niels Bohr, and Stephen Hawking on unified theory. So I didn't read with the purpose of trying to understand what they wrote. With my search, whether they're meeting my search, what I'm looking for, do they have the answers? To that extent. So if you ask me, can you explain what Niels Bohr book says? I can't. But they were not giving me answers. Then
you were looking for answers.
I was looking for some answers from the questions that were within me, and I found that there's a limitation as far as science and physics is concerned to explain, to answer all this. And I used to be amused when we were children. We used to hear stories about people, rishis going and doing tapas, what they were doing. I used to wonder about these things. And then it occurred to me that our rishis were also scientists, and they, instead of looking outside for answers, they went within. They went within and to find the answers. So that's, I think, the primary reason why I took up meditation was to, and when we are doing meditation, so I learned actually when I was very young, in my 15th year, I learned about transcendental meditation. But that was a small one, it's just a 15 minutes thing, and you just do for 15 minutes, and more of something like that reduces your BP and all for that. It is not there's a little stress, but it's not a discovery like. But in 2006, I took my Kriya Yoga Diksha from Paramahamsa Yogananda's old organization. That's when actually my whole thing opened up. What is the purpose of meditation? It's like going inside and trying to find the answers. It looks simple, but something is preventing us from seeing all this. So those are the filters what we have, our desires or the prejudices. Our own biases, all these things, ego, these are certain things that prevent us from seeing what we are actually. So to go beyond this means that you need to subsume. It's just a journey. It's not just about doing meditation. It's sort of inner cleansing of your mind and your heart. You see, this is the purpose, and there are breathing techniques where our rishis were very they had discovered this wonderful connection between heart rate and mind and breath.
Very nicely you connected the science and the meditation part of it, the spirituality part of it.
So spirituality, a lot of people talk about it. I somehow am averse to talking because I feel I'm a practitioner. So I'm not a preacher or I'm trying to discover myself. So if this, I have to go beyond certain things which prevent me from seeing, then I need to practice that. So anything beyond that is only for publicity or your own feeling good, So it's also again doesn't help in your search. So I think it's a journey, and I'm there. Maybe part of, when you said serenity, part of that what my own practices and my own state, it may be reflecting outside. When you said about serenity, I think
That's the aura that you
that's what I can make out of.
Yeah.
If somebody has used, not the word used by me, but
I know.
if somebody experiences that with
Yeah.
me from in my presence, then
I am
I'm
also
trying to.
experiencing like that.
I'm just trying to put it in my words. What could it be?
It's very good to hear from you, sir. Even I felt the serenity around me, and I'm sure that what you spoke about will go a long way and will affect a lot of people who are watching us across the organization. And we are very thankful for you to join us here, and it's lovely talking to you, sir.
It's really my pleasure, Sudipto, that I had an opportunity to talk with you, and thank you very much for bringing out these things,
Yes.
which a bit reluctant to talk because this is an individual journey, and if it inspires others, it would be nice. But my urge to everyone is that, just look, beyond what you are doing on a day-to-day basis and try to find answers. I think we don't need to do anything yourself, but that void will come and it will start hitting you.
Okay.
To everyone it comes sometime or other, and when that comes, the search will start.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shri P S Murty, for sharing your incredible journey, wisdom, and leadership insights with us today. Your ability to lead with calmness and serenity while driving major projects and innovations at HPCL is truly inspiring. As you continue to contribute to the corporation's growth in your role as Executive Director HSE, it is clear that your blend of technical expertise and mindful leadership will leave a lasting legacy. We look forward to seeing how your continued leadership will guide HPCL through its next chapter of success, ensuring that the corporation thrives in an ever-evolving energy landscape. We encourage our viewers to share their feedback in the comment section and send their thoughts to prcc@hpcl.in. Thank you. Namaskar.